Hi, friends. Got some more details of this thought experiment that I'm calling M.O.A.T that I wanted to brainstorm with everybody who's interested. So, details could include names of counties, cities, roads, names of places of significance, people's names, historical events and calendar events, money details, looking at the budgets, climate and geographical and weather details, construction company details, constructing details like a timeline and schedules, the monumental outrageousness around Texas, which is M.O.A.T, those details of all the design details of that and landscaping ones. The trees, the lands on the landscaping, the north sides, south sides, east sides, west sides of the area. The I found out that Texas has 22 million inhabitants. Um, that's a lot of people, but most of these tourist attractions can also get other tourists from other places too. So there'd be pool details. When I say pool, I don't mean a body of water, but the pool that the counties pool of parts of their budgets, so that some counties get um, to pool lots of money and some a little bit of money and some none, but the pools are divided amongst the counties so that every county would be able to afford and purchase and the construction of the M.O.A.T projects in their particular county and the landscaping and all too, which is $10 million I've figured for in materials just for the the I beams. So it'd probably be more than that, but altogether it's like over $2 billion. It's like $2.54 billion. But that's for 254 counties in Texas, which is quite a lot. Be a big tourist attraction or series of tourist attractions, unlike any other kind of scale of art ever been done before. That's one thing that might make it into a great public art event. And so you have to work out the percentages of the pool based on the populations, I think, of those counties, so that the ones that have less people in them don't have to contribute as much to the pool because they don't have as much money from the tax dollars to spend on a M.O.A.T project, which is $10 million each. And they also have to provide the land too. So, a pool of money, I found out it's like a pot or a fund. There's also a kitty, but the kitties are mostly what friends do when they pool money. But then it's a money pool, these pooled funds for a joint project. And I was looking at who would I could talk to about that. And then there's this place called the Texas Municipal League. There's also the Public Funds Investment Act, which outlines how local governments can invest in pools. That's the Public Funds Investment Act, is the PFIA, and in Section 444.029, um, that I marked down as where I need to look. There's also a percentage for art um, in Texas, which is 1%. For every project that a business builds, they have to donate 1% of that fund to have art brought in or art being made or for that business. There's also the Texas Commission on the Arts, the TCA, which can help with guidance for this public art projects or these public art projects that are called M.O.A.T. And then there's also grants that they can be issuing too, which is another source of funds for the M.O.A.T project other than the government. But we'll see. I think it's the greatest art project and collaborative project ever, if it could be done. An economist can work out these percentage of the pools of the pool from the counties, which are positive funds and which are negative funds, funders or receivers too, which counties are positive in the positive, which would be needing assistance to get a M.O.A.T project. So there's 254 of these uh, counties, but I realized that the idea came from the Moon Project and the hero nations, which combined for a pool in order to pay off the receiving nations to demilitarize. That came from the Moon Project, which I'm borrowing as an idea, the idea of pooling money from counties so that the entire state can have enough money for each of those 254 counties to be able to fund the M.O.A.T project. And then I was thinking about transportation to the tourist attractions with like bus lines or chartered buses, and the counties can provide their land, and they get part of the pool, the 2 billion or plus, to build their M.O.A.T, their own very own M.O.A.T project, which I've got the design for the sculptures, but the landscaping can come from local landscape architects, and I'll have to consult with them or with Texas master gardeners for the specific site and climate, which are the best plans for each M.O.A.T site. And I'm really concerned about the state and the public welfare and using minimum water usage. There's redwood trees, gravels and grasses. I'm looking at the pathways to see the sculptures, and upon the landscapes. These are like hiking pathways too. So each place you get to hike in. Foremost, the environmental impact matters of these tourist attractions, the art parks. I'm thinking of like river rocks around the monuments, different landscaping styles for every one of the 254 M.O.A.T projects. So that matters to me a lot. That each one will be a special, unique place to go to visually and aesthetically, and each one would be a relaxing environment for people to walk around and just be in. Like, it's a park, but it's also a trail. It also has the sculptures on it too, as a public tourist attraction. And I was wondering how to make cooler temperature, a cooler temperature tourist attraction park in Texas, and there to make it a relaxing environment. So you'd have shade, you'd have hydration concerns, and for first aid facilities. But I also got the idea of like a misters, that spray the mist around these pathways, so that you can constantly be walking, but mist to be around you, and it'd be cooler. But you could also bring like umbrellas too on hot days. And basically the landscaping, like I said, is super important for me to collaborate with other master gardeners of Texas and landscape architects to make the best project for the people in that county and the tourists who visit it. Thanks for watching.